Hey 49ers fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome to Chat Sports, and today we have a fresh San Francisco 49ers news and rumors video where we update you on all the news that are happening right now within the San Francisco 49ers. A lot of injury update news, some good, some bad. Let's go ahead and jump right into the biggest injury news of the weekend after, of course, the 3-0 win over, or the win over the Steelers to make us 3-0 is the fact that cornerback Ahkello Witherspoon did suffer a foot sprain in the win over the Steelers. Now remember, he was carted off the field and was seen leaving the stadium in a walking boot. Everyone was like, oh boy, this is not going to be good. Well, head coach Kyle Shanahan brought us basically good news in saying that it was just a foot sprain and that he will only be gone for about a month, which is also great news because the Niners have a bye week this week. So that's like one game where he would not be available. That kind of, allows him to miss less games than what he actually would have done if we would have, 4 straight games over the next 4 weeks. So good news there in terms of Ahkello Witherspoon. Not as bad as people originally thought, so he should be able to come back in about a month. Now, the question is, who's going to replace him at the other cornerback spot opposite of Richard Sherman over the next month? Now, Jason Verrett replaced Witherspoon on Sunday. We talked about this in my 49ers grade video just like, yesterday. And Verrett got kind of picked on. Gave up a 39-yard touchdown, had a 32-yard pass interference. So, according to Kyle Shanahan, the leader to assume that role is Emmanuel Mosley, the second-year cornerback. Looks like the guy that they're going to be trying to get out there to start, but he's going to be competing with Jason Verrett and DJ Reed as well. So we're not quite sure who it's going to be. They have 2 weeks to figure it out. Verrett, again, is probably the most talented of all the players, but he's coming off the injury, hasn't got a lot of practice time. So, again, we'll wait and see what happens in 2 weeks. The corners have been a strength of the 49ers so far this year. It's not like the secondary is going to be awful without him, but it will take a slight hit with him on the sideline over the next 4 to 5 weeks, depending on how long he's going to be out with his foot sprain. But again, this is as good of news as you could have hoped because high ankle sprain would have been longer. You look at Saquon Barkley's got 6 weeks. Any sort of Achilles or broken foot, toe, whatever, could have been a lot worse. A foot sprain is about as good as you could have hoped with the fact he was carted off the field. All right, question for you guys here. Who should start at cornerback in Witherspoon's absence? Do you guys want Mosley? Do you want Verrett? Do you want DJ Reed? Do you want them to go trade or acquire someone out in free agency who's still available? I looked and the list is not that bright. You'd have to go and trade for someone else's cornerback. There is one available. We'll talk about it in a second, but it's like, don't know if they should actually go after him. And you know what? That kind of segues well into the next topic. So, not exactly a brand new rumor, but a lot of news sites, after seeing that Witherspoon is going to be down for an extended period of time, immediately started writing the article, should the Niners go after Jalen Ramsey? Now, thankfully, you and I have had this discussion days ago. Like, we're way ahead of it here on Chat Sports, and so we do know that the Niners did offer, or make an offer, about a week and a half ago, before Witherspoon was injured. They made an offer to the Jaguars, a first and a mid-round pick, a fourth or a fifth, for Jalen Ramsey, and the Jags did not accept, obviously. So, the question is, should they up the ante and try and offer 2 first-round draft picks for Jalen Ramsey? That's for you guys to, debate on down below, but you and I have talked about this. I see no reason to panic with the fact that Witherspoon is going to be out for 4 or 5 games, that's it, to go out and spend 2 first-round draft picks on Jalen Ramsey. I just don't see it happening. You're going to see a lot of people writing about it on other sites, but I would defend and argue, don't buy into the hype. The Niners I've heard, multiple people who cover the Niners have said that they are not interested anymore for 2 first-round draft picks. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. I know we talked about Ramsey a lot last week, but I saw stuff resurfacing. I wanted to kind of, douse the fire and be like, it's just not going to happen. Because again, you can see a potential trade on your screen. 2 49er first-rounders, 2020, 2021, for Jalen Ramsey. And then you got to re-sign him. Now, they have the money and they have the draft picks to do it, but it's just a lot to give up for someone who is great, but at the same time is not exactly, he'd be a big upgrade over Witherspoon, but Witherspoon's been playing great. And just wait for him to get back, and we should be fine. Speaking of great, our BetDSI partnership with the 49ers channel that I have worked on just for you guys. You use the promo code 49ers120 on BetDSI.com, or really go to chatsports.com/bet and use the promo code 49ers120, and you can get an extra 120% on your deposit bonus when you sign up. So listen, right now the Niners are hot. The Niners are good. It's a safe bet to bet on the 49ers, in my opinion. So you can make your profits even bigger this year if you use the promo code 49ers 120. You turn $100 into $220. It's a great deal. So, chatsports.com/bet, promo code 49ers 120 is the key you guys need to help and contribute, hopefully, to your wins this year as you bet on the 49ers. Okay, moving on. This is good news for the 49ers in terms of the injury scope. Tevin Coleman could be returning after the bye week. So remember, Tevin Coleman suffered the ankle injury in week 1 and has basically been out since the, was it the first half or second half of that football game? It was early on, right? I think it was early on in the football game, but Coleman has not played in the last two games. Now, he has been seen jogging at practice and looks like he could be ready to go, and Kyle Shanahan said just yesterday that Coleman has, quote, been moving pretty well in practice. So all signs, because bye week, you have 2 weeks, indicates that he could be ready to go in, again, in 2 Sundays from now and be on the field for the 49ers as they try to go 4-0. And remember, Tevin Coleman was in Atlanta last year. He was going to assume the number 1 running back role after Devontae Freeman went down with an injury. 167 carries, 800 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4.8 yards per attempt. The question will be, how do you mix him back in with the running back group that has dominated without him on the field? Right? Let's be honest. Breida's been fantastic. Mostert's been really, really good, and Jeff Wilson's been scoring touchdowns down at the goal line. So now you have 4 running backs that you must now share the load with. I think it's going to be good because he's a great running back, arguably the most talented one out of the group. But Kyle Shanahan's going to have to work to make sure everyone is fed properly and won't get upset and can still do the damage that they, can do basically back there at the running back position. So good news, but let's see how it mixes in. And for a guy like me who started Mostert last 2 weeks in fantasy, I don't know if I do it when Coleman comes back. But again, we'll have to wait and see. Question for you guys here. Who's the best running back on the 49ers team when Coleman's healthy? Is it Coleman? I think a lot of people might lead towards Breida, especially after what we've seen. The footwork by Matt Breida has been absolutely insane. Again, it's a problem-ish, but it's a good problem to have, the fact that he's coming back to help out the 49ers running back situation. Here's some other good news. This one you guys are going to love. Jalen Hurd. Remember him, right? We're all excited about Jalen Hurd out of Baylor, the wide receiver. It's like, oh boy, can't wait. Oh, he has a back injury. Oh, we haven't seen him in literally forever. So he's been out for over a month, which is what was called a stress reaction in his back. I don't know what that means, but it doesn't sound too good. But again, Coach Kyle Shanahan said just the other day, he expects Hurd to be practicing next Monday. So again, it's the bye week. They're not looking like he's going to be ready to go this week. But next Monday, Jalen Hurd could be out on the practice field for the first time again in over a month. Now, does that mean he plays in week 4? Technically week 5, but week 4 for the 49ers? There are no guarantees, but we're getting closer and closer. I think Coleman has a better chance to be on the field in week 5 than Jalen Hurd, but Hurd could be either good to go in a limited role or right behind him as well. The good news, again, is that you're getting another wide receiver talent out there who is going to contribute, but I want to preface this. I said this preseason. Jalen Hurd is still a work in progress at wide receiver. Yes, you can see the stats, 69 catches, almost 1,000 yards, 13.7 yards per catch last year with Baylor, but he's only been playing wide receiver for like 1 year. Running back at Tennessee, transfers to Baylor, plays a little running back whenever they needed him, but he was a wide receiver because of his size, so he still needs some work. He's not going to come in and be the best receiver on this football team, in my opinion. Now, if he does, it's fantastic, but I think it's going to take a little bit of time to get him worked out, especially because he's missed time now, so don't expect, I wouldn't start him in your fantasy league the first weekend he's there. He might get like 1 catch for 20 yards and a touchdown, but I would wait a couple of weeks. He's going to be good, but let's get him, ingratiated into the offense, which has been clicking so far the past couple of Sundays. And finally here on the NFL, or on the 49ers news and rumors video, this one's just kind of funny. Richard Sherman was asked about Jimmy Garoppolo taking a lot of hits in the game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Richard Sherman was like, hey, Jimmy Garoppolo likes to be hit. Now again, Garoppolo was hit a lot, but he was only sacked 1 time. So that offensive line with Joe Staley out and School starting at left tackle held up pretty well. Now again, he was hit a lot, but he was not sacked, which again, is worse than a hit, but hits are still pretty bad. But it looks like, according to Richard Sherman, that Jimmy Garoppolo likes getting physical and likes being hit. Here's the quote. He, Garoppolo, loves it. He loves it. He's strong, he's persevering. He likes getting hit. I don't know why. Not every quarterback likes it. Kind of wakes him up. Didn't bother him throughout the game. He stayed poised, especially on the game-winning drive. This is great. I mean, I'm a big fan of this. I said this in my grade video yesterday. Why I gave Jimmy Garoppolo the grade that I gave him is because, listen, he stood in there and made some big boy throws with guys right in his face, talking about how he knows he's going to get hit, but he also knows behind him, right over here, he has a wide open receiver. So what do you do? stand in the pocket, quick release, kind of, flex over here to take the blunt, not on your ribs, but also, on kind of your side where the pads are. He did a great job of doing that, especially on the game-winning drive. He had pressure in his face when he threw the touchdown pass to Dante Pettis. It's all good news, all good things right now with Jimmy Garoppolo, who, again, started slow. Preseason, I mean, good Lord, the first preseason game looked awful, and he's slowly gotten better. Now, he was okay in the Bengal game, and then last week he was pretty decent in the Buck game, but threw an interception, turned the ball over, and then this week in the Steeler game against probably the best defense he has faced was pretty darn good. The stats won't jump out, the numbers won't, bounce off a page, but he was really good, especially under pressure. So hats off to Jimmy Garoppolo. Hopefully he keeps it up because 3-0, the national media is starting to take notice. So you get some more wins. Yeah, you beat the Rams, you beat the Seahawks coming up on your schedule. And you start getting the respect that we deserve. And I'm hopeful that all of us know how good this team is. I'm hopeful that the national media will start to recognize it as well. How many touchdowns you guys have for Jimmy Garoppolo this year? How many do you think he's going to get? 30 is a big number. Did he get to 25, 27, 35? Where are you guys at? He's not Patrick Mahomes, who's on pace for like 54, but he's playing very well. Give me a number. How many touchdowns will Jimmy Garoppolo have this year? There we go. All the time we have for today on the San Francisco 49ers news and rumor video. Again, the Witherspoon injury is not as bad as we thought. That's good. Coleman's coming back. Jalen Hurd is coming back. They're probably not going to go for Jalen Ramsey. Don't have to waste picks, which is good. And then Jimmy Garoppolo, according to Richard Sherman, likes to be hit. So all good news today for the 49ers. And again, when you're 3-0 and your injuries are there but not, back-breaking, it's a good time to be a 49ers fan, as I know all you guys who watch these videos do know and love. Hey, quickly, give me a follow on Twitter, @RealThomasMott. Do a lot of 49ers stuff there as well. @RealThomasMott. It's somewhere around me. You guys see it, a little Twitter handle. Follow me. We'll talk on Twitter. You know how it works. And then, of course, be sure to subscribe because we have plenty of great content coming up over the next couple of days. Even though it's a bye week, still stuff going on. That's all the time we have for today, though. For Chat Sports, I'm Thomas Mott, signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day.